What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I'm going to focus in on, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like this year there's been more goalie controversies, if you want to call them that, early in the playoffs than there have been in recent years. And I'll go step by step through, or you catch what it is, through the 7 that are noticeable. And, what it means for the league going forward, that, teams are less patient with their netminders than they have been in the past. For example, the St. Louis Blues going to Jake Allen to start the playoffs. I'm not going to say I didn't see it coming, and I probably would have done it myself, but it was just kind of one of those, oh, okay. And then, Ken Hitchcock on TV saying, I'm not going to pull Allen, and then, was it 28 seconds later, Brian Elliott's in there after a soft goal. So, it's one of those things. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. People compare it to a starting pitcher. It's not. It's more like a quarterback as far as I'm concerned, because you think about it. To use a baseball comparison, your pitcher's only going to give you 6, 7 innings, 8 or 9. They don't pitch complete games. So, pitcher gives you 7 innings. You're going to go to your bullpen either way. If he gets rocked, you've already got a bullpen there, and it's not that big of a deal. With a there's the old saying about quarterbacks: if you have 2, you have none, because your starter has to be firmly entrenched, and you can't be looking over his shoulder. But at the same time, sometimes that competitive fire pushes them. I think that was kind of what happened in Chicago. We're gonna go again. Nice segue right there. And Chicago had a quarterback controversy. I don't know if it's a controversy. Jay Cutler just sucks. But with Corey Crawford, he established, won the Stanley Cup. Been there, done that, netminder. Scott Darling, the no pun intended, Darling in the NHL this year, comes in and plays really well in the regular season, mops up game 2, or game 1 after they fell behind. Crawford loses game 2, and then they go back to Darling, and then lo and behold, they pull in game 6, the elimination game. They pull Darling after a less than stellar start, put Crawford in there. It's like, I'm curious to see what Chicago does for game 1 of the second round against Minnesota. I would assume they go Crawford, but you never know. I mean, it's definitely up in the air. Anaheim did not have a goalie controversy in the playoffs because John Gibson was not healthy for the first round, and they just swept the Jets, so it didn't matter anyway. But if Gibson's ready to go, and Freddie Anderson has a bad game or 2 against the Flames, is that, oh my God, should we do, how should we handle it? That's going to be something to keep an eye on. You never know, especially Bruce Boudreau and playoff goalies. We've seen him be kind of bold in the past. And then you look at Vancouver, going Eddie Lack, who they rode down the stretch again in the playoffs. Go to Ryan Miller. He gets doesn't get the job done at the end of it. So that's a little bit of a goalie controversies in Vancouver. Just the names change, but the story stays the same. It's kind of funny. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And then, Calgary, Jonas Hiller gets pulled in Game 6, and then Carrie Ramo helps backstop them in a winning game in Game 6. And now they're going back to Hiller for Game 1, which against Anaheim is kind of a cool storyline, so that's something to keep an eye on. And then, in the East, the Hamburglar gets Ottawa to the playoffs. Couple bad starts. Put in for Craig Anderson. Craig Anderson gets them, a couple wins, and then Carey Price shut the door in Game 6. That's not going to be a goalie controversy. I can tell you that much. That guy is as good a goaltender as there is on the planet. And in Detroit, Jimmy Howard not starting the playoffs. Peter Mrazek playing phenomenal, and having the Tampa Bay Lightning on the verge of getting knocked out. Have the Bolts up against the ropes. And even the Lightning, people were saying, should they give Andrei Vasilevsky a chance? Ben Bishop's been phenomenal, and I thought he's been really, really good in the series. I don't think it's his fault that the team's, where they are. A couple soft goals here and there, but, the fact Steven Stamkos hasn't scored, I think, is a more pressing issue than Bishop's play. And, go from there with that. But Peter Mrazek getting the job done in Detroit. And then, Pittsburgh getting knocked out in 5 games, and there not being a goalie controversy because Marc-Andre Fleury is the only reason that series was even close. And finally, even the Islanders, Halak was banged up, they went to Grubauer, the Capitals. Holtby was banged up, they went to Grubauer. Halak was a Capital last year for a minute, so that threw me off. I apologize. But, you catch my drift. Even like that's kind of interesting. subplot that they've had to go to 2 goalies in that series. So, I don't know what the trend is here, but I think the bottom line is there's less of a rope with goalies these days, because you see, unconventional. I'm not saying unconventional goalies that put up great stats not get it done in the playoffs, and then goalies that suck get it done sometimes. Like Cam Ward won the Stanley Cup. How does that happen if Peter Laviolette doesn't pull Martin Gerber? So that's one of those things. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I get episode of the Power Play with CJ on goalie controversies in the first round of the playoffs. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the playoffs and beyond. Later, guys.